Welcome, everybody. So, Millrock is a generative mineral exploration company. It's a particular business model that's followed by a handful of mineral explorers in the myriad of companies that look for gold and other metals. Some examples would be Almaden, or Eurasian, or Virginia Gold Mines. There's companies that have made discoveries, monetized them, and have been successful. And we intend to follow in their footsteps. We've been at it about 8 years now. The whole idea is to build a sustainable exploration company that's not subject to the vagaries of the highly cyclical metals market. And I think we've been quite successful at that. In Alaska, certainly, where we operate, we're recognized as the premier project generator company. Now in Sonora State, Mexico, we're gaining that reputation, and more recently in British Columbia, in the Stewart camp, where we've made some great acquisitions recently. We're building our reputation. Right, I don't like to just gloss over this. You know, mineral exploration is a risky business, and things don't always work out the way we predict. But I would say over the 8 years we've been in business, we've developed a reputation of doing what we said we would do, and developed a good company. So what you should look for in any mineral explorer is management. Do they know what they're doing? The projects, are they good commodities for which they search right now? What is the risk level of the jurisdictions that they operate in? What's the capital structure of the company? How many shares are outstanding? Are they busy? Is there news flow? And what sort of a model do they follow? Well, I think you'll see that we score pretty highly on all these fronts. We are a pure exploration company. We're not a mining company, and honestly don't plan to be one. We plan to make a giant discovery and sell it for a fortune on behalf of our shareholders. And we're in the early stage exploration side of minerals, which is truly the highest risk side. But we find a way to reduce that inherent risk in early stage mineral exploration. You know, share prices rise really rapidly when a brand new discovery of a mineral deposit is made. But not very many are discovered. So to reduce that risk, we have multiple projects. And we finance the exploration on those projects using funding from other companies, usually mining companies, profit-making companies that can afford the expensive exploration work. So rather than issuing equity, selling stock all the time to finance drilling, the money for the drilling comes from mining companies. They earn an interest in our projects. Here's how it works, really. We come up with a new idea. We form an option agreement with a major mining company, usually. They fund the exploration. We often do the work on their behalf. If there's exploration success, then everybody makes money, shareholders. Joint ventures formed, and then at that point, Millrock will contribute to the exploration at a much lower risk stage. So that's how it works. The reality, though, is most early stage exploration projects fail. And so we have multiple projects with money coming from the mining companies, and that way we're not reducing our treasury or diluting our shareholders. So over the 8 years, we've attracted some good names that have funded a lot of exploration on our projects. We've made some discoveries. We haven't made one that looks like it's going to become a mine soon, but we've done darn good work, and these companies have been happy with what we've done for them. And here's how it works, really. You know, we've raised money over the years by selling stock. But most of the money, almost $40 million that we've expended looking for mineral deposits, has come from companies rather than from shareholders investing in our company. So here's the basics. We've got adequate cash, $2.7 million. We can make this last a long time because we have revenues. We receive option payments from our partners. We're often the operator and charge a management fee, so we have some income. We generally offset our overhead costs by this income. Our share price has increased quite nicely since a year ago. It's dropped off the last week down to around 40 cents. and it trades pretty well. It's tightly held by influential shareholders like Rick Brule, Eric Sprott, and you know, if we give these guys any exploration success, they're really going to make sure everybody knows about it, and the share price should rise quite rapidly from there. So, who we are, my background, geologist, mining engineering technologist, came up through the ranks of the great Canadian nickel mining company, Inco, and ended up in Alaska, where I worked for native corporations for 7 years. And my partner, Phil St. George, geologist with some great mineral discoveries to his credit, not the least of which was the Pebble copper gold deposit in Alaska. And in fact, he helped Rick Van Nieuwenhuizen in the early years of NovaGold advance the Donlin Creek project. So we truly are contrarians. And I know you are contrarian investors. You've bought stocks in the last year or two, and you're going to cash in the coming years. And we look at exploration the same way. We buy assets when prices are low. And over the last 2 years, we've been very, very aggressive in buying up mineral projects. We bought an entire Mexican exploration company that had a dozen projects in it. We assembled a giant land package in the Golden Triangle district of British Columbia at prices that, well, we certainly couldn't do the same deals today. And so we really stick to this. You know, the worst of times, and it's been 5 really bad years in the gold business, are actually the best of times for a company like ours. That's where we can build up our portfolio and get ready for the good times that appear to have now started. So we've got projects in Alaska, BC, and Sonora State, Mexico. In Alaska, we have attracted 2 great partners. Newcrest, the giant Australian gold miner, has been funding us quietly over the past 2 years, and it's getting more serious now. We've developed a great package projects near the Pogo gold mine in central Alaska. And Vista Minerals, a small Australian company who is exploring for gold on our Stellar project. In the Golden Triangle, as I say, in November of last year, I was able to assemble a great series of projects that are right beside the Pretium's Brucejack and Seabridge's KSM deposit. Fantastic prospects, and we're looking for a partner to fund work here right now, and I suspect soon we will have that partner in place. These are very well positioned properties and have some great mineral signs on surface. This Willoughby prospect in particular, beside IDM's Red Mountain project, has some spectacular gold grades that we'll be following up on. Here's some historic drilling with some really quite nice drill intersections that we can undercut and drill along strike. And you know, this is a really exciting place to explore. It's high mountain country, but the ice, the glacier has been receding very, very rapidly. And so it exposes new mineralization, new rocks that no geologist has ever seen before. And it's possible that we could find brand new occurrences or even deposits right at surface. So Mexico, this was a big move for us, and it turned out to be a great deal. We bought a single company with 12 projects, but not too long after we purchased it, mid-tier gold producer Centerra Gold came along, liked several of the projects, and we formed joint ventures with them. And so we're very active explorers now in Mexico. Honestly, we didn't know a lot about exploring here, but since we bought a company, we sort of bought the expertise along with it. The people came with the company, they knew how to operate in that particular environment, and the data that we had with the company has served us to generate projects very well. So one of the first out of the chute was Los Chinos. Centerra Gold optioned it from us. We operate the exploration. We did all the surface work through the summer. We've just completed a short 2,000-meter drill program. I expect we'll announce these results in November. The core looked good. I wouldn't buy the stock on that basis because I've seen lots of core that looked good before. But certainly there were oxidized sulfide minerals in that core. And at surface, those same rocks had gold in them. So what can make our share price go up? Well, I think it's going to go up from here just in a rising gold bull market from 40 cents. But certainly we're active. You'll see more partnerships on our BC projects, and Alaska will be drilling in Mexico through the winter. And in fact, you know, on all our projects, our intention is to have a drill turning on one project or the other throughout this entire coming bull market. And so any drill hole we drill is a chance to seriously increase Millrock's share price through a discovery, and from which you as shareholders can benefit. All right, so everything's shaping up the right way for us, and I think it's a good time to invest. And thanks.